My name is Noah, and I'm joined by my friend and collaborator, Rami.
Hello.
We are the hosts of Voices Unearthed, a weekly, hour-long show inviting underground artists of all disciplines to share stories, techniques, and advice about their respective industry.
We'll be interviewing creatives every Tuesday at noon, so tune in right here on Spirit Live Radio. Thanks.
See ya.
Alrighty.
Oh my gosh.
How's everybody doing today?
I'm doing great, man.
Well,
How
we're
about you?
we're literally right back in here doing another Voices Unearthed episode.
Yes, sir.
I'm joined by my co-host Noah right here.
Hello,
My name is
hello.
Rami.
Yep.
Our job as the host of Voices Unearthed is to unearth the voices where we that was kind of obvious, where we unearth underground voices, all the sorts of underground Toronto artistic disciplines. We're going to talk about their inspirations, where they came from, where they want to go in the future, some challenges and successes that they've had in their journeys, and just all sorts of stuff about their stories. So today we have Henry Murray.
Hey, what's up?
And
I got the full name. I got the
You get the
damn,
full
bro.
name.
name.
On
Let's
God,
go.
yeah.
Old government name.
A lot of alliteration in there too. I appreciate that. That was
Henry
good.
Murray.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
is the co-host or host of Zed, the Toronto collective.
Yeah, I'd be a host. I'd be
Host.
a promoter, producer,
owner,
yeah.
CEO, whatever title you want to put on
Mark
that.
Zuckerberg.
Nice.
Fucking, I don't know, dude. Just I've been running that for a few years. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Awesome, dude.
That's
awesome.
sick.
Yeah. I think I want to dive into the managing space for a second.
Yeah.
Figuring out what I wanted to really do. And it's still something I kind of enjoy. I feel like, we still book people. We set dates. We bring people on, and we do a bunch of the work to make sure that it goes properly and smoothly. And so, I mean, it's nowhere close to booking venues in New York City, but I still get a joy out of it. And so I see what you mean of it. It's a challenge. It's a challenge because it's also about mediating and making sure people are happy.
Yeah.
It's not just about managing their careers. It's about managing them as people and making sure that they're still good and happy and ready to go when the time comes. So. Is that what you would say is the hardest part about managing?
I would say the hardest part about managing is walking a line between being, a friend and, being a boss,
Yes.
being, somebody who is managing, right? I mean, the term itself, implies that I'm telling you, hey, don't post that or do post that or whatever, though I don't want to necessarily be telling people all the time what, they should be doing. And you're an artist. Like you're the guy you've gotten to a point where I wanted to manage you for a damn reason. Like, you know what I mean? So that's kind of the line you have to walk. And I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there in regards to, wanting to make sure everyone is like good and comfortable. In some sense, I see a lot of artist managers be in a position where they're like a therapist. I am not that. I'm a best friend.
Yes.
I'm a guy who, can be someone to express some frustrations with. And then when it comes time for me to have to, fix something, then I can go in and do that. I'd say that's the hardest part is kind of, just bridging that gap. I mean, if you're just a manager and you're not even a friend or whatever, it'd be really hard to do that. If you're just a friend and you can't, when push comes to shove, mediate things as you mentioned and kind of, pull in the reins for some people, then what are you kind of doing? I mean, the main thing though for me, and this kind of comes down to anybody that I want to work with going forward, is there's a lot of artists right now that I see in the city where I'm like, that guy's going to be famous, that guy's going to be successful. Yeah. Honestly, it's not that many though. It's probably like there's so many of them, and it would be amazing if all of them were to become famous, but it's usually just like, it might be like 2 or 3 people that I know. If I'm being realistic, right? Like I know like 100 artists out here, probably 2 or 3 of them are really going to like go to that spot. Other people are going to have great careers, amazing careers, successful ones. Yeah. Though probably only 2 or 3, right? And so for me, it's like, well, do I choose to go with the 2 or 3 that I think are going to become famous? Like, I mean, that feels very artificial, in my opinion. So it's kind of just going like, I want to work with artists that it's just about loving what you do as well. I want to work with an artist that I love. Like I love their music.
For sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can say like Thelonious, I love his music. Sophia Side, I love their music. Antoine, I love his music. Space Jam, I love his music. You know what I mean?
Space Jam?
No, I do not. Let's get that on the record. I do not. I said like artists I work with, right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. I don't manage those people. Shout out to Keith, real quick.
Shout out.
But yeah, no. It's just about like loving what you do and wanting to work with artists that you genuinely mess with. If I go with the people that I think are like guaranteed shots to be famous, then like I don't know. But if I work with them, if I find an artist that I love and I work with them, and I'm able to bring them out to New York and we're able to do those things, I think part of their chances of getting there improve. And, it's not just me piggybacking off of anyone else. It's like I'm grinding myself and I'm working with other people that are on their own, grind too, as
So you
opposed
kind of like
to
the idea of helping someone build their career from the ground up, as opposed to kind of just hopping on something that is already established.
It's more sustainable that way too. Like it's not, from like a business perspective too, like it's more sustainable. Like I don't think hopping on or trying to be on.
Yeah, it's like you're not gonna really cash out in that sense because it's like they already got their ups pretty much.
Yeah, and you're also like people know what's up. You're gonna be treated like the guy who just hopped on the bandwagon.
Yeah,
that's
like
true.
you know what I mean? Like people know what's up. You might have your moment. You get to make some cool Instagram posts. You get to have an essay underneath your feed post about how this was a win and my brother who he's he's the man and we've been waiting for this and whatever. And there's a lot of smoke and mirrors out here. I just want to be with people that I rock with their music, I rock with their vision, I rock with all that, and there's a greater chance that they're going to go to a higher place with me behind them because I'm also doing my thing. I've also got my own covered, like in terms of what I'm able to provide,
For sure. Would you also say it also comes down to how serious the artist is? Because, they could be talented, have a great vision, and have a solid plan, but a lot of people just don't execute it in a way that will make them go far, or they're just not serious. They're just not serious about what they have to do in order to get to the top. And so are you at a point now in your career where you can easily just spot that, like you're not serious next?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, and it's a lot of people that say that they're serious.
Yeah.
Every like
Everyone says
it's
serious. Yeah.
absolutely. I'm going up. I'm going up. Like that's always the thing that they'll mention.
Yeah.
Take it easy, man.
You're out.
I'm just gonna put the chairs away.
Oh, he's gonna lock. Okay. Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
Go for it.
Yeah. Sorry. Repeat the question again. It was.
Yeah, so like, are you at a point in your career now where like it's like you can easily spot like you're serious or you're not serious?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's it comes down to actions over words.
Yep.
It's really about actions over words. A lot of people say that they're up next, they're going to the top, and they'll have like a picture of their fit pic, and they're standing next to some kind of brick wall, and and they're saying on the caption it's like like just wait,
I'm
just
coming,
wait, yeah, type thing. And hey, listen, I know a lot of people that say that they're up next, and they really are, and they know who they are. But it's about actions and words. I know a lot of people that can back up their actions with words. I know a lot of people who really just can't.
Just talk,
Yeah. So I'm not. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
know.
I think that answers the question.
yeah. And that can also be a slippery slope because maybe you're friends with this person. Maybe you like regardless of what business you're in, you could be friends with this person, but at the same time they may not be serious. And we asked this for the coalition interview that we did, where it was just like, are the people that were with you at one point but aren't now because they lacked the work ethic and the seriousness that they needed?
Yeah, there are a few people that I would say that. I don't want to name names or whatever.
No, yeah.
It's and there are a lot of people that kind of like when I first got into the Toronto culture of music and going to different venues and knowing different people and whatever, there were a lot of people that kind of took me under their wing and didn't want me to leave there and wanted me to kind of be in that spot where I was always under them and listening to their advice on a loop. We go to get like a foot-long sub and I'm just sitting there listening to you talk at me about how I've got to get in on NFTs or something. And, so, there's a lot of that going on. And you just, again, it's actions over words. And, you find your people at a certain point. That's it. And you also just make yourself somebody who you can depend on, and you don't, and you accept as much help as you can get. And you also give yourself as much help as you can get, so there's a lot of times there's like there's a bit of a willingness in regards to the people that are always under someone else's wing. You know, sometimes you go, oh, I feel so bad for that person. Like he's getting whipped around or she's getting whipped
Yes.
around by whoever. End of the day, it's your choice.
It
like you
is.
can stay there or you can,
Make the choice.
you can make the choice because everybody knows what's up on like a feeling level of, the deal here, you know?
Absolutely,
So
yeah,
it's, but sometimes you're not ready yet. Sometimes you're feeling things out, but it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you out? My co-host here is out. He's very busy with
Hey, man,
school and
exam
finals.
season.
Exam
Exam
is
season.
killer. So
Yo, thank you so much, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll catch you later.
yeah.
Okay, well, we'll talk another time.
Definitely, bro.
Definitely
Yep.
have you on again.
Yes, sir.
Fan of red buttons off, sliders down.
He's teaching me, you guys. Okay. See you later, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Those are-
Absolutely. Yeah.
Carry it on.
Great. Now we can talk some shit.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, fuck this guy. This is a bad co-host. Yeah, and I think what I can also say about seriousness and how you are serious is that it's how you portray yourself. It's how you don't let people walk over you, and how you stand up for yourself and be this not imposing, but enough to the point where it's like other people know that I take myself serious.
Yeah.
And so for myself, I find myself walking a fine line between trying to figure out how to do that. And I guess I can ask for everybody else trying to figure out how to impose themselves in this industry. And for myself is that, how would you go about, like in your personal experiences, how would you go about taking that on and
Imposing
being
myself.
imposing, yeah.
Yeah. If you're right, you're right, and that's a great question, by the way. If you're right, if you're correct in a certain circumstance, you're just correct. Like there's no, so I don't need to raise my voice or I don't need to, whatever. I'll talk with this same tone and just tell you straight up. No, I sent you the details 2 days ago. Check the group chat or some, whatever, and that's just it. I don't, the most imposing thing is just someone who's correct and isn't gonna pretend that they're
Pretend that they're okay
pretend
with
that
it.
they're incorrect.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
it's just like that's it. And we were talking about walking a fine line earlier between like being a friend and a manager, being a friend and a boss in certain circumstances. I just did an award show where a bunch of people lost awards who were like all friends of mine. So I produced an award show. Oh no, dude, I'm good.
Oh.
Like
Oh,
I don't. Yeah.
Before you continue, can you shift the mic to your left a bit?
Yeah.
Just I want to make sure that the audience can see your face.
That's all good.
Maybe to more to your left. To your right now. Right.
Right.
Far. Yeah. To your right. Far right. Lower it now. Yeah, it's good.
I appreciate this.
Yeah.
I appreciate this.
Sorry about that.
No, I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah,
It makes the rest of this
Yeah.
better. So that was something that I did. So I mean, you just have to like walk the line between friend and manager or whatever, and you have to be imposing, I guess. But I don't know. I don't try to necessarily. I don't know. Like you don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a fine line.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah.
Like yeah.
I often think the line is but the difference between being a yes man and being real. I was listening to this interview yesterday with
Matthew
Baby, Won't You
McConaughey.
Come?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Baby, Won't You
Fetty
Come?
Wap?
Yeah, Fetty Wap. Yes.
Wow,
yes,
you
yes.
watched a Fetty Wap interview.
Yeah, I was watching a Fetty Wap interview because it came up. On
I need to watch a
timeline.
Fetty Wap
You
interview.
do need to watch a
That's
Fetty Wap.
overdue. That's overdue.
Yeah, it came up on my feed and it made me think because I think he was on academics and he was talking about how like he was getting 100K per day per show, whatever, and then the numbers started to dwindle and dwindle even more. Not only because I guess he was sort of losing traction, but because he was spending a lot of money on cars and different properties and clothes for his friends and this and that. And he was saying that he was rolling with like 30 to 40 people, and they all weren't really saying anything because they knew that as long as the money's coming in, I'm getting my clothes and my places and my cars. But then as soon as the money stopped coming in, that's when they started to talk of just like, yo, you need to fix this and da-da-da-da-da-da, And I think, that's still fine to do when, something's wrong, still address it. But I think there gets to a certain point where it's like when you have the money and you have what you want, how can you save that? And how can you make sure that it lasts a long time, because 100K is a big deal for a show to have that per day is a very, very big deal. And so I think, to your point about walking the fine line between manager and best friend, it's like, don't be the yes man. Be the friend and be the business consultant that you can go to with anything, and they will tell you the honest and hard truth.
Yeah, I would say I've never burned any bridge. Other people have,
Yeah.
burned them themselves, at least in a business setting.
Yeah.
And I would say that it just comes down to, being correct or being incorrect. And I'm not about to pretend that I'm incorrect on something. And, it's not about, raising your voice or, calling anyone any kind of, anything, or like, insulting or anything, like, especially in a business like perspective, business. I don't know. Yeah, it's just about, if you're correct, you're correct, and I don't pretend that I'm wrong when I'm right, and you can do it in the most friendly way possible. Hey, you are wrong, and you know what I'm saying? And like, I sent you the details 2 days ago, and you're pretending you didn't know that the set time was here. You're pretending that you didn't know that you had to be at this thing or whatever. It's just, if you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. But yeah, I mean, to your point, in regards to just being a friend or something like that. Yeah, I mean, just I'm in a very friendly way, letting you know sometimes that you are out of your
league.
Your fucking mind. Out of your league.
Out of
You're
your
not
league.
that guy.
Yeah, you're not that guy,
out of your
trust me.
out of your league. You're out of your league. You can't.
Yeah.
You're not ready for me. I don't think this is gonna be a sustainable relationship. No, I'm just playing. No, I mean, it's all like, dude, like, I'm friends with everybody, but at the end of the day, like, you got to be a leader. The only way to be a leader is to impose a bit of fear, like whatever. I'm not able to like physically impose a lot of fear necessarily. I've lost 90% of the fights I've been in. I've been in a lot of them, but
have you?
Yeah, I just talk. I just, I say things and, people don't like it,
Escalates,
but I can impose in other ways just by, being like, not pretending I'm incorrect on any level if I'm correct in some regard, I guess. So
yeah. I think that's it's good that you have that on lock, because I feel like that's a problem for a lot of people. A lot of people have the ego and they don't want to admit that they're wrong and that they messed up. Like, you send them the details and they knew they had the details and they messed up, but they want to pretend like I don't know.
Well, there's so much anxiety that goes into performances and live events, and artists get really hyped up, and and they are more like, they've got more anxiety. That's a word that I just used all the time. So I was like, should I just like, they get triggered? Like, I don't know.
Triggered, emotionally.
Yeah. So yeah, we gotta, but no, I mean, there's so much that goes into performing for a performer. It's like, I never have the same level of anxiety that an artist has in regards to a show. They always come in hot, and especially if it's their first ever performance or it's a big one for them. And a lot of the times on the unearthed, using your guys' terminology on the unearthed on the unearthed level, there's a lot of big shows, or every show feels like it's it's something. My best friends are gonna be here. They got support, and I hope people are there. I hope people come. I hope people show up. So artists have a lot going into an event, and sometimes that can create, being like, pointing fingers at myself is what happens all the time.
Yeah,
it's always, I didn't win my award. Okay, people didn't vote for you. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Or I didn't know that I was performing at this time. It's like, I told you were performing at that time, but that's how it is. I enjoy that aspect of it and whatever. And part of me, my main philosophy is just, if I wasn't the one running the ship, who would be? If there wasn't somebody who was doing an award show, who would be doing an award show? So
it's you.
So this is just the price that I pay to see something cool happen, in a sense.
Definitely. Yeah, no.
I guess.
I love that, man. To your point about, being nervous about live performances, I guess you witness it firsthand, how your artists can be nervous, but then they go on stage and they kill it. But I think it's about how you use that energy, the adrenaline and the anxiety, as we keep saying, on how to use it. Even on this show, it's live. We're like right now we're doing a live stream, and people aren't watching, but like, this is it. This is the podcast, and so if I stumble on a word and don't know what to say next, like, that's just
roll with it.
Roll with it.
Roll with it.
Dude.
I'm big on that.
Yeah. And so I guess any advice for that on how to compose yourself? Because
Yeah.
it happens, but you want to get better to a point where it's just like, okay, I do live shows, I do Kaisenot streams, I do all of that. So right,
Yeah, Ohio. Yeah,
Oh, you just said that.
yeah, I always tell people before they go on stage, you only get to do this one time. You know, once it's over, it's over. You're going to be in an Uber on the way home, and you're going to go, oh man, I wish I enjoyed that a little bit
Yes.
more. It's
Yeah.
just about enjoying it. We're doing this to have, and also the other main thing, actually, this might be even more important, is I always tell people that your energy, I'm not one of these, energy to, I'm not wearing a man bun right now, but I'll tell you that when it comes to your energy, whatever you're on stage, with, is going to translate to everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like a stand-up comedian. If you're watching a stand-up comedian on stage and they're uncomfortable or they're nervous or whatever,
Yeah.
everyone in the room is now feeling that same exact way.
Yeah.
In a sense. You can't help it. It's like a disease or something that spreads in the air or something. Just, you're smelly. You're smelly, man.
Yeah.
So, just improve your, comfortability up there, and other people will be comfortable as well. Improve your level of. There's a guy named Kaza Kid that I'm just going to shout out really quick because he's a fantastic performer. He's headlined 2 of my events now. And, he always is performing with the level of enthusiasm he wants the crowd to then have themselves, Sometimes you have a case scenario where, it starts with the crowd where, you're just standing out there and you're just like looking around and you're not doing anything. Yeah, dude. And like, they call it in country music, they call it garthing. So Garth Brooks, he'll just show up on stage and he won't do a damn thing.
Yeah.
And everyone will just lose their mouth. Fucking Garth! Oh my God! He's just standing there doing nothing. Like, they just lose it for him. So sometimes you can Garth a little bit. Though I would say 90% of the time, think about your energy.
Yeah.
Get some damn crystals out of your house. I don't know what that's about. No, I'm just playing. But like, think about what you're putting out there, because what you're putting out there is going to translate. And it's as simple as that.
Awesome. No, I like that. It's especially for like a podcasting as well, because I have everything good.
Yeah, just making sure you can see my face here.
Oh yeah. It's a bit out of frame right now.
Damn.
Let's. Oh, you know what? Try moving the mic closer to you, like sort of bringing it in like this.
Yeah. Let's see what it looks like in a second when it goes to me.
See how it looks right now.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
As if I'm clipping some of this stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I kind of like the way that I answered that
Yeah,
question.
but
I'm
can't
like,
see
I want to.
myself. That's you right now.
That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alright,
You like that? Is it good?
I think it's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I can tell that it can see me.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, because I'm an actor myself.
Oh, cool.
I do live performances whenever I can anyway. For plays or for theater or for film, I should say. And that's a different ballgame from podcasting, like just having an open forum conversation live, to like being a character. That I feel like I do such a good job at. Because this podcasting thing is new to me, I'm still like figuring out what to do and how to go about it, and so, yeah, no, it's
Being yourself.
being
right?
yourself, yeah, as opposed to putting on a character. Even for like if you're doing a music show, like I guess you are putting on a character. The
Oh,
energy,
no,
you're-
no,
you're-
I don't.
You're heightening it.
I don't stand on stage, crossing my arms during other people's performances.
Yeah,
Like I don't really put on any character,
Right, right.
But yeah, if you're a performer, absolutely, you've got a certain degree of like showmanship that you need to have, and sometimes that comes with just being yourself, of being an extra version of yourself, or just like a bigger version of yourself.
For sure,
in
for
some
sure,
in
yeah.
some regard, right? So
Yeah.
sometimes that can be important. But like as an actor, yeah, it's kind of fun because you're not yourself.
Not yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to act too when I was younger.
Did you?
I still do voice acting. Yeah.
Oh, dope. Do you have like an agent or something? That gets your
Yeah, I
stuff?
mean, I had a temporary agent just a month or so ago, just
Okay.
because I was doing just voice and stuff, and they had me do like Ford F-150 or whatever. It was
Oh,
just
no,
fun.
dope,
Like,
dope.
I enjoy doing that, but that
Nice,
was
nice.
but
It's not like a main thing that you don't like actively pursue it as much as I guess this, or
no, I mean, this is what I love to do, just
Right.
events and stuff like that. but-
yeah. I know, because I was gonna say, like, you have a great voice. I don't know what it is. It's not. I don't know how to describe it. It's very like you would hear it on the radio. You would hear your voice on the radio from a host talking about whatever it is. You just have a radio voice, and so
Thanks, man.
that was one of the first.
Thanks,
things
man.
that
I ought to
actually
come
walked
back
in.
on here a few
Yeah,
more times.
you should. Yeah, when Sophia's side comes back, we're definitely having a mic for you again. Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. Yeah,
I'll just drop like little, they'll say stuff. I'm the ad lib guy. I'll just
right, yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, it's Cardi. Yeah,
It's Cardi. Yeah, it's Cardi. Ohio.
Oh, God, wow.
Yeah. I don't know if that becomes a thing.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah. What other artists? I was just curious. Like, have
Yeah.
you had in here that potentially like we have some people in
like
common
in
that
common?
like have been on this show? Like
We've had. Well, I mean, obviously the coalition.
the coalition was just in here.
Yeah, they were just in here, but we've also
Yeah.
had Calvin Moon and Ali.
He
Farrah-
mentioned he knew Space Jam in some regard. I think
Rami did.
he said he knew the artist.
He
yeah.
did. He knew the artist. I'm not sure about that in particular.
All right,
I
cool.
guess that's a
Yeah,
question
well,
for
no,
them,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
like there's definitely a lot more. I mean, you guys have a really like obviously it's tied to the school,
Yeah.
but you have like a really pro setup here that's like
Yeah, it's-
awesome,
it's great,
and there's a
yeah.
lot of like really interesting people to talk to that
Very, yeah, no, I mean,
are around here for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, no, I think we like both me and Rami, because we don't just do musicians. Like I have a lot of actor friends. We have some dance friends, some visual
Sick.
arts people, and so because we had those connections already, we just like had a boatload of people to bring on, and then from there they did sort of the work for us in a sense where they just like, hey, have you gone on Voices Unearthed or have you heard about Voices Unearthed? And that's how we
Unearthed.
got in contact with if do you know this one artist named Rums?
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah,
know
okay, yeah,
Ron,
because we had him on yesterday, and he got in contact to us, I think, through Farrah the Misguided, if you know.
I know her
Farrah.
too, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
great. She's great. We had her on the second episode, I believe, after Ali and Calvin Moon. But it's just
Uh-huh.
like people like that, like Calvin got us in contact with you, and Farrah got us in contact with Rums, and so on and so
Well,
forth.
Calvin's another guy who's networking with like a new like 5 people
Yeah.
every day. Him and I are kind of like that similarly. Like once you understand that all of this stuff happens through just people that you know,
Mm.
and maybe you have a bit of a yapper sensibility.
Yeah.
You just start talking to whoever it is, and you just start going around, and I mean you catch your people that don't want to work with you. Okay.
Yeah, dope. I'll move on to the
Okay,
next person.
great. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I think that comes with being comfortable in what you're doing and knowing that what you're doing is good, because
Yep.
it really hurts you when you don't feel good about, yourself
Mm.
or your the way you're doing things, or your business as we mentioned. Remember,
Business,
big
yeah.
business. When you don't feel good about your stuff, that's when the rejection feels negative. However, when you're just walking around every day, like, I know that I'm doing good things. I know that I'm doing things that are, lucrative and whatever. Like, anyone who isn't, joining you on that or wanting to work with you in some regard is missing out, and you're aware of that. I mean, obviously, you can't change the fact that rejection is unfortunate,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it always isn't, what you intended for when you reached out.
Mhm.
No one goes, I'm gonna reach out to this person.
And I'm gonna get rejected.
Yeah.
I know I'm gonna get rejected. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That would-
Like,
yeah.
So
Why not? Yeah.
no, that's never the idea.
No.
But you don't care when you're straight. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, yeah, I don't.
I want everybody who I am working with, and when I say people I'm working with, that I'm implying people that I'm consistently, I'm at their events, and I'm running said events as well, and talking to them about, potential management, or, I am managing them, and, the people that I am talking about, I want them to know from the jump, and we talk about networking or just introducing yourself to somebody. I want them to know from the jump that I rock with them as people.
Yes.
And so, and I rock with, and that's how I'm going to actually rock with your music, because if you're a good person, typically your music can't be, like,
Absolutely.
a lot of the worst people I know have the worst music too. Like, it kind of works like that. But I would just say that, yeah, I mean, I want to work with, going forward, the artists that I can add value to and provide value to, bring them out to New York, manage them, and, think about like marketing strategies that make sense, and work with them, and not be like their dad, and not necessarily be their, younger brother, best friend who's just, hey, you're amazing too. Like, just there's a fine line to walk. I guess maybe more like an older brother, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
But I want to work with artists that it's not like I think this guy is going to be famous, so I'm going to, hang around him and do my little whatever around him. It's like, I'm going to work with somebody who I think they can be, famous, successful, whatever you want to call it. They can go to the top,
Yeah.
or whatever people like to say.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Ohio, I don't know. You know, I want to work with people who I rock with their music. Just first of all, I rock with Thelonious' music. I rock with Space Jam's music. I rock with Sophia Side's music. I rock with Antoine's music. I rock with Calvin Moon's music. I'm missing names, but those are artists I can tell you I rock with their music. And I can tell you that those are who I want to work with and provide value to the point where they can become famous, successful, you know, whatever you want to call it, at the top, because I'm able to bring them out to New York, I'm able to manage them, or, you know, or be their booker or whatever, as opposed to piggybacking off of somebody who I see and I go, he's up next. I don't even rock with his, you know, latest releases or his new whatever he's doing, but he's up next, so I'm gonna piggyback off of that, because at the end of the day, it's less sustainable, first of all, but like, it's also just something where the people around that artist and that artist themselves can look at you and everybody feels the, you know, we were talking about, I'm not into the energy or like wearing a man bun and talking about how we're all connected, whatever, but I kind of do. I believe in a lot of that to an extent. I think intentions are a lot more see-through. Intentions are a lot more see-through than people admit that they are sometimes. And I think a lot of people know my intentions.
That's good.
And that's good because my intentions are good. And I, you know, so
he's not lying. Yeah.
Amen. He's here. He's able to, the energy. I don't know. I'm just playing, but yeah.
Nice,
anyway.
man. No, again, I think as long as you are truthful, communicative, is that a word?
Absolutely. You gotta be,
you know?
you gotta, you know, communicate.
You gotta communicate.
Be a yapper,
be
man.
truthful. Be a yapper.
Yap Town.
Even if you
Yap Town. I'm the mayor.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Give me a call. Yeah, because even like I find a lot of people saying that like, oh, it's this whole thing, this whole networking thing, everything about it is so corny, da 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 da. But like that's the way you do it. That's the way it has to be. You sometimes maybe have to be corny in your marketing, and
You never got to be
network.
corny.
You never gotta be corny. But I think people portray how you market your stuff corny.
They think that it is the people that don't take the chance will come up with the excuse in their head and say that it would have been corny to whatever. It's like a lot of the time people they want to hang out with their buddies and, you know, their friends or whatever, and they want to give them a text and say, hey, let's meet up somewhere, and then they go, oh, that'd be corny, or oh, I feel like I'm that ant with the bag on his back or whatever. You know, however, I mean, like, that's not corny. It's not corny to say, hey, let's get a beer, like, you know what I mean? It's not corny to say, hey, I have some value that I can provide to your artist. Hey, would you be interested in performing at this event? That's not corny. I've probably sent 1,000 emails or more. Like I have dreams where in my dream I'm just texting out a, hey, you want to perform at this event, you know, type thing. Like that's how instilled it is in me to do that. And yeah, dude, I mean, is it corny to be making a lot of money, you know, running events in Toronto? Yeah, I don't think so. So, you know, I mean, a lot of people have their excuses for why they're not, you know, doing whatever, and, you know, saying that it's, you know, lame or whatever. And hey, man, it can be incredibly lame, but it's not inherently. Yeah. So like making TikToks that type of a thing can be very lame, very whatever, you know, though it's not inherently. I know people that are on TikTok making TikToks all the time, and I don't think it's corny. No, I think they're doing what they have to do for their career. Exactly. And it's not like it's some self-sacrificing, like, you know, them looking like a loser just trying to get streams thing, and some people are, but it's situational. It's not black and white. It's not networking is corny. It's not wanting to, you know, have a career in the arts is corny. It's that it very much can be. Yes. It can be. You know, a lot of things can be. You know? Yeah. It's all about your approach. Exactly. Going up to a girl at a bar you could be a corny motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. Or you're like, hey Nelly, how's it going? I don't even know who you are. But right, as we were talking about earlier, right? Or it's the networking thing where you go up to somebody and you say, hey, how's it going? You dab them up and you don't ask for an Instagram. You whatever. So that person knows you. They see you at the next event. You talk to them later. You figure it out. It's natural. You show them that you rock with them before you rock with them as an opportunity, or, you know, it's that simple. No, yeah, for sure. And you know, just to clarify for everyone watching, I wasn't saying that any of that stuff is corny. I know. Sorry, my bad. No, all good. I just that's just sort of what a lot of people have been saying
just a lot of people that I talk to are just like, oh, doing all that stuff is corny.
Going to a
In my head,
networking event is
it's
corny, or
I'm like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not corny. That's the moves that you have to make in order to.
I think
succeed.
sometimes you're scared of being in a fake environment too. I get that, or
Yeah.
well, it's not necessarily fear. It's just not wanting to be in a fake environment, or not wanting to, be there. I'm very, what you see is what you get. Like I wear my imperfections, like, you know what I mean? And I don't say that I'm, the guy who is going to run an event with 0 mistakes, because I've done about like 100 events and all of them have had mistakes within them. Everything has a mistake within it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's always an unpredictable thing too. You do it the best you can to mitigate those. It's like, hey, you can trust me. You know what I mean? I'm going to make mistakes. You can trust me, though, at the end of the day, that my intentions are good, and I'm going to do everything I can to mitigate those mistakes, right?
Yes.
And so it's the same thing in that case scenario. It's like, it's not going to be perfect, and I'm gonna go up to you and I'm gonna introduce myself as me. I'm not, I wore a suit for like the first time in years, just like recently at that award show. I'm not going up to people like I'm, whatever, and I'm all like, hey man, I make myself presentable, and I wear the clothes I want to wear and whatever, and I exercise regularly, whatever. But I'm not up here like I am the perfect like whatever, and you need to work with me because I am flawless.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because trust me, man, you will have fucking flaws. And when that time comes, do you want to be an honest guy, or do you want to be a guy who was dishonest this entire time and now he's making a mistake?
Flaws. Yeah,
right?
Exactly,
So you know what you're getting when you get into it, that we're going to have moments where we're going to have, a complication in this event. We're going to have a problem there. But I would much rather, be on the ship with, a captain who like has addressed that from the jump, and there isn't like a creek in the wood where water is coming through and we're drowning, type thing, and like he's pretending it ain't even there. Like, it's just about being genuine. And so yeah, I mean, I don't like to be in rooms where it's like a networking event or it's whatever, or it's a forced thing to happen. That said, though, like I go to them. I go to networking events all the time. I DM people all the time in ways that are, approaching it from a networking perspective.
Yes.
And it's situational. You can do those things and not be corny doing those things.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's all about your approach and the way that you do it and the way that you feel about it. And if other people are being, fake or coming on, I mean, dude, I get DMs all the time. Like, book me for a show. You got to book me for an event. I'm like some dude that's like, I'm in Toronto, so where's my show at? Type thing. You know what I mean? And like, that's always funny to me.
Yeah.
But I get that type of stuff all the time. And it's not, I can't control anyone else, but I can go to a networking event if someone's just a fake ass motherfucker, and it's kind of like seems like a shitty person too, and I'm like, this is not, fun. It's really though about how I respond to that. I don't feel any worse about going to a networking event just because that guy's also there or whatever. I'm here to do what I gotta do. And yeah, I mean, it's not like those are people that I love to be around. Of course not. I hate to be around them. But it's no slack on me, man.
Right.
Is really all it is. Yeah.
Dope. Yeah, no, I think that's really well said. Yeah, no, I just think get out of the mindset that like this is corny, because it's not, and that's just what you have to do. Again, to your point.
Yeah, and be flexible, and everything is situational.
Exactly.
And you can't predict everything.
Yeah, no. Well said.
Anyway,
Yeah. Just wrapping up here, just because we're kind of short for time. I just wanted to ask you what you got planned for the new year. We're sort of wrapping up the year now, and do you have any plans?
Well, I've been on a very experimental tip for a minute, which I get sort of near the end of a year if I've had a good year, and like 2021, I was like running dodgeball tournaments for rappers and stuff like that at a certain point, because near the end of the year, it was like I had a good year and I was doing like rap competitions or whatever in 2021 and stuff. And that's kind of where I feel right now, where I've just been experimenting and, doing things that I wanted to do for a really long time. And, sometimes you get reminded that life is like really short and you just got to do what you got to do for yourself, like not for anybody else. It's just, this was on my bucket list to do, and I'm just running off this stuff, and it's fun and it's enjoyable. And, there's people that are, I didn't win an award, and you're like, oh, you know what I mean? But like, was an award show going to happen before, you we're in a position where you could have lost one. Like I don't think so. So that's for the birds as far as I'm concerned. But I'll tell you right now that that's where I've been at the last few months is just having a lot of fun experimenting with different events. And going forward, I'm gonna just stay on that wave. I've got some really fun stuff planned for 24, and I've got the experimental stuff on Objective Zed Instagram page, Objective Zed. And then I've got my money making and fun packed out events in some of the more like renowned venues in Toronto that I'm doing on Zed nights, and I'm going to be just doing those at a rate that'll probably kill me in 2024, like doing 4 events a month, so one every week.
Oh, wow.
So that's gonna be great, and those have been really like revenue generating for myself and all the artists involved. So if you want to get involved with any of those and you're an artist, let me know, because there's ways that we go about these things where everybody can eat. And there are ways that I've just discovered doing events over the last few years that I've started to tap in with. Okay, what if we moved this ticket distribution thing over here, and we did that. So anyway, if you want to get involved with that, let me know. But just having some fun doing those things, and I'm also managing a few artists right now, and that's kind of under wraps at the moment.
Yep.
But I'm managing a few artists, and there's some cool things happening. Some artists that I genuinely, again, that I rock with them. I rock with their music. So I have to actually, I'm not just piggybacking off of who I think is going to be famous. I'm getting involved with someone who I think is going to be famous with my help.
Yes.
So I'm providing something to them. I'm bringing them out to New York, or I'm using everything at my disposal to help them out. That's what I would say about that.
Nice.
Cheers.
Yeah,
Have a good one.
man. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to leave all of Henry's info down in the bio so you can check it out if you want to get tapped in with him. The info's going to be there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I got about it.
Guys, I'm Noah. As always, that has been Rami over there.
Shout out to Rami,
Shout
by
out
the
to
way.
Rami, man.
His exam is doing good.
And this has been Voices Unearthed. Thank you guys for watching and listening. And as always, we'll see you in the next episode. Take it easy, guys.
Thanks.
Later.
You're really good at this, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, really great questions, and like